A 3-0 victory for them. They sit top of the table, by the way.
How are they flying at the moment? They lost against Villa at the weekend.
Yeah, but they're still flying in the Champions League, 100% record, Craig Burley.
Well, how are they flying when you lose at the weekend?
Well, I don't know. I think you're flying in the Champions League if you don't lose a game. Look, 18 points out of 18. The only side to do that, so flying very much in Europe.
I think you've had a bit of a bad one there. Welcome back.
No, I think they're flying, definitely. Well, they're top of the Premier League.
Well, you've got,
top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League.
Yeah, but you're not.
What other team is flying higher?
No, but you're not flying when you're not flying when you just lost to Villa at the weekend.
No, you're still flying.
I would suggest.
Still flying.
Yeah, Champions League this stage. Who cares?
Frank, what do you want to say?
What do you want to say about Arsenal? That everything is perfect.
No, about Tottenham.
Everything's perfect. I'm pretty amazed by the fact that, I don't know if you mentioned when Madueke scored the goal, I was watching the sideline, and it's like Arteta didn't really care about that goal. That was very fun. He was talking to Gabriel Heinze. And that was very funny to see that Madueke was coming to the bench, and he said, okay, high five, okay, bye-bye, get out. And he was talking to Heinze. That was very strange, behavior from Arteta. But otherwise, nothing much to say. I mean, they're on fire right now. Yes, they lost against Aston Villa. Yes, Craig Burley, they're not top of the top. But again, Ambu is done. They're first in the Premier League and first in the Champions League.
I tell you what, Frankie, drawn against 10 men Chelsea and drawing against Sunderland from a winning position and then losing at Villa, hardly constitutes Arsenal flying, does it?
I think overall, the big picture, they are most definitely flying.
The big picture.
But this is the response you want, isn't it? After the defeat against Villa, you go against Brewside, who of course got a draw against Barcelona.
Well, yes, and you can only play the teams that are in front of you, and you can only have this sort of response if you're Arsenal. You want to manufacture momentum, and you're not going to get that by losing to Aston Villa late. And so, yes, the best thing that could have happened for Arsenal is that they were going to play right away in the midweek, and they get themselves a comfortable, confidence-building win against Club Brugge. They find themselves in a position in which they are set for success coming into this weekend.
Chelsea lost yesterday against Atalanta. Not a good run for them, of course. They're not flying. Bournemouth 0-0 at the weekend. And of course, that defeat against Leeds. Frank Leboeuf used to play for Chelsea. Let's go. You talking about Chelsea then?
Yeah. I saw the game, but I want the 2 goals that they conceded. It's impossible. Look at Fofana, number 29. He saw the striker. He was in front of him, went behind him, didn't care. And then after we have Badiashile, he has to go and get the guy who's going to shoot the ball, but he drop. Stop dropping, because the goal is just behind you. And that's impossible. In the Champions League, the 2 goals that Chelsea conceded that should have been, possible to do something else. And the 2 guys, they're still very young, but the international player, they play for Chelsea, they play in the Champions League, they have to do something else. Those was very rookie mistakes. And if you want to win a game in the Champions League, you can't do those kind of mistakes.
Basically, Enzo Maresca came out after the game and complained about the amount of matches that they're playing. It's very difficult playing matches.
Oh my God!
Every 2 days they're playing. So
that's his math.
No, yeah, since when?
3.5 a week. That's quite impressive.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday they didn't play.
Monday, Wednesday,
We're just saying that days
and
of the
Friday.
week.
No.
Saturday, Tuesday. If we're just going to say.
I believe that's 3 days.
Yes, I believe it is as well.
And I believe it was.
Has he got a point, Craig?
What?
They're playing too many matches.
You can tell how crap a Champions League this day is when we're going back to that guff yesterday.
Frank, anything you'd like to add?
Oh no, to Mr. Maresca, no, especially on that. That's excuses. They were bad.
Yes.
They lost the game because they couldn't keep the shape and they made mistakes. So, but it's not because of games every 2 days. That's stupid.
I'm son of God, and then I could do everything if I follow the God rules. No rules, the God plans. So because of God, I could stay like 11 months, believing that I could, come back good. So to move the way I move outside tonight was a show for myself that God protect me all the time.
How much can you offer to this team? We know what you've done before. We know how good you've been in your career. Do you look at this team and you're looking, thinking, I can make a massive difference, I can be the guy?
First of all, I don't want to be the guy, you know. I think the clubs I have played, I had my role there, you know, and then I always help in a good way, you know. Obviously, when you are not playing, it's more difficult. I'm not gonna lie, but just to, you know, help the guys, you know. Obviously, now I'm not kid anymore, you know. I'm 28. Sounds me young, but you know, seems like max 15, seems like 8 and 18, Miles 18. So I think more than like experience, you know, I can bring like some like difference, like, you know, the players we have. So I think everyone is in a good shape, and then everyone can help. That is good. That's Arsenal. So we have an amazing squad now, and then we can go for all the competition. Just try to keep calm and then play game by game.
Do you still feel? Do you still feel like you can be better than ever? That there's still like a best Gabriel Jesus to come? You say 28, it's not that old.
100%. Like I said, tonight for me, you know, it doesn't matter about the chances I had. You know, I got some like in good positions. I could finish the action. I could hit the target at the time. You know, the 3 chances I had, I hit the target. Obviously, I had to score, but just to come back after 11 months, you know, and then move the way I moved tonight. I'm so pleased, you know, because 11 months, man, 11 months of doubting yourself. Like I say, I keep saying this because it's true. It's what I believe, and what helped me is a lot. Like, if I didn't hear the Bible every single day, I think I'm 100%. I believe that I could come back stronger than ever. So now I believe even more, you know, because I'm son of God.
We're just going to do 2 more goes. So Gabby got to go to the gym.
Mikel was saying that you were sort of close to the team when you were out injured. Can you say what you were doing that was kind of with the team, and how you were close to the team and the squad?
What do you mean?
What type of things were you doing around the squad to kind of stay close to the squad?
You mean now?
Yeah, no, over the past year.
Over the past. So that's what I mean, you know. I think in my career, like, I had amazing moments, and then I have won amazing titles as well. I have been amazing like positions, you know, with the clubs before, and even with the Arsenal. So unfortunately, we did not win anything yet, but just to come to Arsenal and then help like everyone else to make Arsenal fighting for the titles again, this make me feel happy. And then I think explain what he means, you know, like obviously I'm a different guy when I have the smile on my face. That's I'm 100% sure. And then obviously now I'm more experienced. Now I had 11 months of doubting, of I step back and then watch everything around me, you know. That's helped me a lot. Unfortunately, it was 11 months out of what I love, not the most, but now it's not the most anymore because I have my kids, my wife. But I think one of the beautiful things I experienced in my life is play football. So yeah, I think he means this, you know, like I can help even on the pitch or outside. And then now I'm more experienced. Now I'm more like patient, that I know if I have the chance, I'm gonna go there and then I'm gonna do my best, and then I'm gonna help the team. So like everyone else here. So I think that's what he means.
Thank you.
Lovely. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much.
Mikel Arteta has made it clear that Arsenal will need to unleash their complete player against Bayern Munich. The Gunners host the German champions at the Emirates Stadium on Wednesday, and one man in particular could be decisive. Ebereki Eze, described as a very complete player by teammate Mikel Merino, is emerging as one of Arsenal's most dangerous weapons ahead of their Champions League clash with Bayern. The 27-year-old announced himself in North London with a stunning hat-trick in his first derby since arriving in a £67.5 million move from Crystal Palace. His 3 brilliant goals dismantled Tottenham, and truthfully, he could have scored even more. Mourinho believes every one of Arsenal's 8 summer signings has lifted the squad's level, helping the team build a 6-point lead at the top of the Premier League. But Wednesday's matchup is different. Bayern Munich, the reigning Bundesliga champions, represent the toughest test yet for Arteta's side. Speaking after the win over Spurs, Mourinho praised Iza's qualities and hinted at the impact he could have in such a high-stakes European battle. "We've brought in a lot of players who can make a difference. But you can see that other teams have spent big as well," the Spain international said. "Individual brilliance can win matches, sure, but in the end, it's the team that matters. If you have great players who don't connect, that's a problem. The good thing about this group is that everyone thinks about the team first." When asked about Ease specifically, Mourinho didn't hesitate. "I think he's incredibly complete. He can dribble, he can pass, and his technical quality is outstanding. In Spain, we always talk about players who can connect with others. He has that naturally. He grew up with that instinct to link play, move the ball, and build relationships on the pitch. He also has the mindset to get involved, demand the ball, and influence the game. At the same time, he's strong, he can take players on, and he can finish. He's a truly complete signing." Mourinho also touched on how the modern game often reduces players to simple numbers. "These days everyone judges players by goals and assists, that's just how it is. But as footballers, we see the deeper qualities he brings, the technique, the movement, the intelligence. Even in training, you can tell immediately how special he is. Yes, he's scoring goals, but he's much more than that. He's an exceptional player, and we're incredibly lucky to have him. He can play in several positions and adapt to different systems. He's been a huge addition for Arsenal." Beyond the technical qualities, Mourinho believes Iza's attitude, and a healthy competition within the squad, will be crucial in Arsenal's title push. You can hear the calm in Eberechi's voice and see it in the way he carries himself. He's confident, grounded, and every morning we sit together in the sauna at the training ground and talk about everything, he added with a smile. "He's a great guy, already fully integrated, and we need players like him. Competition is fierce. There's so much quality in this squad. That's exactly what the manager wanted, as many top players as possible, all ready to play. It makes his decisions tough, choosing who starts and who doesn't, but it also pushes every one of us to give our best in every session. And that's why we're improving as a team." As Arsenal prepare for Bayern's arrival, Arteta is facing one of the most delicate balancing acts of the season. The squad is healthy, competition is fierce, and expectations have never been higher. But behind the scenes, there is a growing sense that Iza's versatility and calm presence may be essential against a Bayern side known for controlling the tempo in big European nights. Arteta himself has hinted at Iza's importance without naming him directly. After the Tottenham victory, the manager spoke about the need for players who can break pressure, dictate rhythm, and stay composed when the game becomes chaotic. Those inside the club believe those comments were aimed at Iza as much as anyone. The coaching staff has been particularly impressed by how quickly he has adapted to Arsenal's positional play structure, a system that demands far more tactical discipline than what he was used to at Crystal Palace. Analysts at the club point to his growing influence not only in the final third, but also in build-up phases, where his ability to glide past pressure could help Arsenal bypass Bayern's aggressive midfield line. There is also an awareness that Bayern's fullbacks tend to push high, leaving spaces between the lines. Iza's skill set, sharp turns, deceptive acceleration, and precise final balls, could be exactly what Arteta needs to exploit those gaps. Outside the club, pundits have already started circling Wednesday's match as a defining moment for the £67.5 million signing. Some believe that if Iza can impose himself on a Champions League quarter-final against Bayern Munich, it will confirm his arrival among Europe's elite creative players. Former players have echoed that sentiment. Several ex-Arsenal figures, speaking on television over the weekend, highlighted the need for someone who can change the temperature of the match with a moment of calm or an unexpected burst of creativity. Iza, they argued, is one of the few in the squad capable of both. Meanwhile, Bayern Munich come into the match with their own confidence. Their midfield trio has been one of the most dominant in Europe this season, and they have shown a repeated ability to suffocate opponents early. That dynamic is precisely why Arteta may lean on Iza's composure. When the game tightens, Arsenal will need a player capable of slowing it down, protecting the ball, and finding solutions in tight spaces. Within Arsenal's dressing room, Mourinho's praise reflects a broader consensus. Senior players have reportedly been struck by Iza's humility and work ethic, qualities that have helped him integrate seamlessly into a squad that already had strong internal chemistry. Staff members describe him as someone who never forces the game and lets the match come to him, characteristics that could prove invaluable in a high-tension Champions League tie. As kickoff approaches, the narrative surrounding the match has shifted. What began as a test of Arsenal's resilience has quietly become a spotlight on whether Eze can elevate them in Europe the same way he has in the Premier League. For Arteta, the equation is simple. If Arsenal are to overcome Bayern, they will need more than intensity. They will need control. They will need creativity. And increasingly, they will need the completeness Eze brings to every phase of the pitch. Whether he starts in a wide role as a floating midfielder, or even as an interior playmaker, the expectation is the same. Eze will have to find the spaces others cannot, and influence the game in ways that statistics alone will not capture. The stakes are high, the opponent is formidable, and the spotlight is intense. But within the walls of London Coney, the belief is growing that this is exactly the kind of stage Eberechi Eze was signed for. Martin Odegaard is nearing a return to action after suffering a medial collateral ligament injury in Arsenal's 2-0 win over West Ham earlier in October. Yet, 3.5 years after Mikel Arteta named him captain, the Norwegian finds himself in an unfamiliar position. His place in the starting lineup is no longer guaranteed. For the first time since joining the club permanently from Real Madrid in August 2021, there is real debate over whether he remains an automatic choice for Arteta's 11. Odegaard, now 26, has been central to Arsenal's resurgence under Arteta, the conductor who shaped the team's rhythm through some of their most fluid football. But this season, the Gunners have been forced to navigate long stretches without their captain, first due to a shoulder issue that kept him out of 4 matches in September, and then because of a knee collision with West Ham's Crescencio Somerville that sidelined him again. And during his absence, something significant happened. Eberechi Eze stepped into the spotlight. Eze's sensational hat-trick in the North London Derby has complicated the picture. Now thriving in a central role, the England international has given Arsenal a different kind of presence around the edge of the box. A blend of unpredictability, directness, and two-footed confidence that opponents struggle to contain. He may not control games with the same metronomic precision as Odegaard, but he offers a spark, a willingness to take risks at moments when Arsenal need a jolt of creativity. After such a standout performance against Tottenham, it feels almost impossible to imagine Arteta leaving Eze out. The manager has always had a soft spot for players riding a wave of confidence, and Eze is currently surfing at full height. There was a similar situation back in September, when Mikel Merino was handed a start against Manchester City after scoring 4 times in 2 games for Spain, including a hat-trick against Turkey. Arteta doesn't hesitate to reward form. Eze has carried that form onto the international stage as well, recently scoring a stunning goal for England in a 2-0 win over Serbia in the World Cup qualifiers at Wembley. Though he can play on the left, it has always been clear that Arteta brought him to the Emirates to operate in midfield. And with Declan Rice and Martin Zubamendi near untouchable in the double pivot, the odds of Eze and Odegaard consistently starting together seem slim. That leaves Odegaard in an unfamiliar position. He needs minutes to rebuild sharpness, yet Arsenal's medical team won't rush him. The plan is likely to ease him back through short substitute appearances before restoring him to larger roles. But even once fully fit, Odegaard faces genuine competition, because Eze has shifted the landscape. His arrival has raised the team's ceiling, and his performances have earned him the right to keep his place. Before the dismantling of Tottenham, Eze had scored only twice for Arsenal, one against Port Vale in the Carabao Cup and another versus his former club Crystal Palace, a clever finish that sealed victory. Now with 5 goals across all competitions, he sits just 1 behind Odegaard's total from last season, when the captain made 45 appearances. Odegaard's 2023-24 numbers were outstanding: 11 goals, 12 assists, influence written across every competition. That is the standard he must match again if he wants to reclaim his spot, because Eze is hungry, confident, and eager to impress ahead of next summer's World Cup. Arteta will insist that Arsenal need both players at their best if they are to meet their ambitions in the months ahead. And with Kai Havertz also working his way back to full fitness, potentially slotting into midfield behind marquee striker Victor Gyökeres, the battle for places has never been fiercer at the Emirates. For Odegaard, the message is clear: he must rise to the challenge. His leadership and quality remain unquestioned, but he can no longer rely on reputation alone. If he embraces the competition and fights his way back into the side, his return could push Arsenal to even greater heights. And if the team has already reached this level without several key figures, the potential for what comes next may be even greater. Inside the club, staff members are quietly acknowledging that Arsenal are entering a new phase, one where no player, not even the captain, is immune to tactical evolution. Arteta has spent the past 2 seasons building a squad capable of sustaining pressure across multiple competitions, and the emergence of ease is a sign that the manager's long-term planning is beginning to bear fruit. Depth is no longer a luxury, it is a necessity. But with depth comes difficult decisions. Arteta has always valued balance in midfield, and the contrasting profiles of Odegaard and Ease force him to reconsider what type of midfield best suits the team's ambitions in Europe and the Premier League. The technical control and spatial awareness that Odegaard brings have defined Arsenal's identity under Arteta. Conversely, Ease's dynamism, physical presence, and unpredictable touches give Arsenal a new dimension, especially against teams that sit deep or defend aggressively in central areas. This internal shift has also caught the attention of analysts and former players. Several pundits have begun to question whether the captaincy should guarantee a place in the lineup, especially at a club with ambitions of challenging for the Champions League. Others argue that Odegaard's leadership is too valuable to sideline, pointing to the standards he sets in training and his influence over younger players. Those debates are already spilling into the media, and they will only intensify as the season progresses. There is also the tactical question of whether Arteta might eventually experiment with a system that accommodates both Ease and Odegaard, something he briefly attempted earlier in the season during the win over West Ham. But with Rice and Zubimendi forming an almost impenetrable midfield pairing, any reshuffle risks destabilizing the defensive structure that has made Arsenal one of the most resilient teams in the league. The manager has hinted that he is open to adjustments, but only if they enhance the team's overall cohesion. For Odegaard himself, the challenge is as much psychological as it is physical. He has worked hard to cultivate an image of calm authority, a leader who raises the level of those around him through clarity and consistency. Now he must show that he can adapt, compete, and respond to adversity. His teammates still speak of him with admiration, describing him as one of the most studious and detail-oriented players at London Coney. They believe that once he regains full rhythm, he will naturally reassert his influence. Yet even they acknowledge that the landscape has shifted. One senior player privately remarked that, "The team is different now, Ease has changed what we can do in the final third." That sentiment reflects not a lack of faith in Odegaard, but an understanding that Arsenal have evolved while he has been sidelined. For Arteta, the ideal scenario is straightforward, a fully fit Odegaard competing with a fully confident Ease, creating a level of internal competition that lifts the entire squad. The manager often speaks about the need for healthy tension among his players, pressure that keeps standards high without fracturing unity. The arrival of Victor Gyökeres, combined with the recovery of Havertz, only amplifies that dynamic. Arsenal's season will almost certainly hinge on these midfield decisions. With Champions League knockout matches approaching and the Premier League title race tightening, Arteta must decide not only who starts, but what kind of identity he wants his team to carry into the defining months of the campaign. The next few weeks will reveal whether Odegaard's return sparks a resurgence or a battle for relevance. If he manages to reclaim his place, it could serve as a reminder of why Arteta trusted him with the armband in the first place. If he struggles, it will underline how rapidly Arsenal are progressing, and how little room there is for sentiment at the highest level. Either way, the captain's response will shape not just his future, but the trajectory of a team that believes it is on the brink of something significant.